Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Bonsai's Forever. So today I am going to be working on this azalea that is looking a little sparse. It's got a lot of life on it, it's got some new growth, it's got some back budding going on. So I'm going to cut this back to what I'm going to keep for now, and I'm going to just let it grow. I'm not wiring anything. Honestly, I don't know if you can wire azaleas. I don't think so. They don't do well with wiring, from what I've heard. So anyway, I'm gonna de-weed it. I'm gonna cut back some branches. So I'm gonna bring you in and let you see this tree. I'm gonna turn you sideways. Hey. So I'm gonna turn you sideways so you can see the tree here. There you go. We got some stuff going on back here. So don't mind the mess. I'm working on making more space out in the. I'm working on making some more space out in the garden area, so that I can get a lot of this stuff out of here, so that I can resituate for things that need to be in the greenhouse for a while, repots or emergency situations, or whatever I need the greenhouse for, instead of just having a whole load of stuff in here. Example, something that I needed in the greenhouse, and I was glad it was in here. This guy right here, which I am really, really excited about this. This tree looked like it was dead, but as you can see, it's got a lot of new branches growing. So, super excited. Really glad that I didn't lose this one. I really like the trunk on this. It's got a whole bunch of roots growing around the trunk, which is turned into the trunk. It was actually buried that deep in the soil, and then I unburied it, and now it's got a really nice radial root base, and it was looking really, really good. And I had it set on the back side of the bench over here, and the sprinkler system wasn't getting the soil wet enough for the day, so it started looking really bad. So I'm really glad that I caught it before it actually died. So that's really awesome. So I've got a huge mess over here with the moss and whatnot. So I've been doing a lot of projects and not being able to get stuff all cleaned up. So this is something I need to work on today. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started with this. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go through, take out the weeds that are going to get too big, because I don't want really big weeds in my planting. Trying to get the root. There we go. The clovers, they're really cool plants. I think they're really pretty, but this type of clover gets just too big for this situation. For a small tree, it's too much. So I'm looking at these weeds right here. Wow, it's kind of dark in here right now. Sweet, that helped. Turn on the light. These weeds, they don't get too tall, so I'm just going to cut them back. It's some kind of milkweed, some sort. Probably isn't a milkweed, but it bleeds, so that's why I was just calling it a milkweed. Try not to bump the camera. Trying to put the weeds in the compost bucket that's right down next to me here. So I'm just going to cut these way back, because I think they're kind of cool. They give it a little bit of, being in a garden type of vibe here, so don't expect me to say vibe a lot, because that's just not something I say a lot. Alright, so those are cut back. Now I've got some little saplings or seedlings or sprouts, whatever you want to call them. I'm pretty sure that these are sweet gum, which I think the sweet gums are really cool trees, but I have so many of them around the yard. I'm just going to pull these out. Unless I get really good roots, just pulling them out. If I do, that one's actually got some decent roots. Put that in some water for now. Pulled this other one out, something else yesterday. We'll put that in water too. Maybe it'll revive. If not, then I'm just going to toss it. But if it does, that would be cool. And then I've got a whole bunch of moss right here that I'm going to try and put into a container to grow it. All right, so as you can see, I've got some new growth here on the base, or the trunk down here, which I think is really awesome because I'm probably going to let this grow out. I'm not sure which part of the top I'm going to let grow into the canopy of the tree, or if I'm going to try and just let this grow for now to give this strength. Wow, that's a big decision. I didn't see this before, so I was just going to trim this back. But that changes things, because now I can cut this off right here, have a really thick, small or short trunk, and I can get rid of all this craziness up here that just doesn't look right. It doesn't look like a bonsai. It looks like a wild growing mess of craziness. Maybe I could keep I don't know. I don't know what I want to do right now. I think I'm just going to go ahead and cut off all the dead branches, and then I'll see how I feel after I cut off all the dead branches. Because I know this is a dead branch. And I'm just going to kind of lop them off. I'm not going to do anything pretty just yet. If I like it, then I'll go back and I'll fix the branches that I cut off, make them look nicer. But if not, then I'm not going to spend a ton of time on that part of it. Just kind of want to see what it looks like without all the dead branches on it. Find out what I want to do. This is going to remove quite a bit of branching. Take the whole top off. I haven't done a whole lot of research on propagating azaleas, so I'm not sure if I'm better off air layering or if I'd be better off just doing cuttings. I think the mailman is, oh yep, UPS is here, so the dog's going nuts. He likes telling everybody that this is his house. Stay away. It's not a bad thing. He's a good dog, though. It's nice. He's just very vocal. Alright, so that looks like all the major branches, dead branches cut off. I don't dislike it. I don't necessarily like it either, because I've got a lot of straight branches. This is like really straight here. This is straight here, straight there, and then this. I mean, everything's just like so long and straight. I think I'm gonna just cut it back to some of the back budding. So I've got a bud. I've got a bud right here, so I'm gonna cut that back. Got a bud right here. I think I'm gonna just get rid of all this stuff. I'll do some research and do some propagating at another time. This one don't have any back budding. I might leave that for now. Let it get some back budding. This one's like long and straight up here. I'm just gonna cut that off. So I've got a lot of back budding right here. I'm cutting the top of this off. See how that does. We'll let some of this grow in, and then we'll cut back some more. There is no back budding on this piece up here, or this, the rest of this trunk. That's the only back bud on this whole trunk here. I'm kind of thinking about just taking this whole trunk off. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna cut that whole trunk off. I don't know where my branch cutters are at. That's why I've been using my knob cutters. Alright, so I'm going to cut this off. Do I want to cut it off here? Does that look any good? It still looks a little weird. It's got a little bit of, it's got some reverse taper right here. I think I'm going to cut it off right here because it's got some interesting there. So I'm just going to cut it off here and see what happens. Oh, that flung at me. Nope, don't like it. It's all coming off. This still looks a little weird right here, but I'm going to leave it for now. Because I'm kind of thinking that I am going to just cut this off right here and let this be the top of the tree. But I'm going to let it grow for a little while and watch it. So next step is going to be, I'm going to clean the top of this off, I guess. It looks like I did a lot of work to it. There we go. And then I'm going to get some cut paste. You don't want to use a dirty stick for your cut paste, so I'm going to clean it off. Using just a knife when I'm scraping it. There we go. Got all cleaned up. Hey everybody, so I am back. Did not realize that my camera had stopped rolling. I was putting the cut paste on the injuries. I got this one done, and then I did some cut paste on this one, the top here, and then I was trying to film the end of this and decided that I was going to take this branch off. It was sitting here like this. Kind of looked like handlebars or somebody putting their arms up in the air. I'm not a huge fan of that, so took that off. Then I was trying to show you guys the roots. But yeah, while I was filming, I started filming with my phone the other direction, so when you film like that, it makes the whole film funky. So I'm gonna refilm it. So I just wanted to show you guys the roots and how crazy they are. I think they're pretty awesome. They're just wrapping around every direction, but they are pretty, as far as I can tell, they're pretty radial. This piece is all up in the way. So yeah, as far as I can tell, they're pretty radial. Looking really nice. And I've had this outside for a couple of days now, and it's not really changed a whole lot. So pretty sure these trees grow really slow, or as far as I can tell, they grow pretty slow. I'm pretty sure that's a couple of months worth of growth, and the tops, that's all spring. So this tree has been struggling pretty hard. I think I might repot this here in the near future. I probably will. I'm gonna let some of this grow out first, see if it will recover before I repot it, because I don't want to repot it and then it dies just because it didn't have any strength to it. So yeah, so there you go. Hopefully you enjoyed this video with my fingers all up in the way here. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Appreciate all y'all's support, and leave a comment if you saw something that you would have rather done, or something you wouldn't have rather done on this tree, so that we can have some kind of discussion about it. I think that would be awesome. If you know more about azaleas than I do, which is probably anybody that knows anything about azaleas, leave me some comments on, just leave me some comments, tips, tricks, stuff like that. Awesome. Well, I appreciate y'all, and have a fantastic day, and I'll see you next time.